afternoon, everyone. My name is Malkia. I am from the basically I'm from the training department and the medical department. I'm currently going to go through a few things with you, given the fact that this is an orientation, because you were chosen to be a part of our construction company. As you know, the company's name, Cindy's Construction Enterprise. We ensure that good customer service and also construction is done in a professional manner. So the first thing that I'm going to touch on is basically the ideal professional. So the ideal professional, number one of the things that you should always learn or always remember, you should always be punctual when coming to work. 15 minutes before the day starts or the job day starts, you should be here. Number two, proper dress wear. As you can see here, everyone will be given one of the reflector vests, a helmet, also a gloves that you can put in, because I know that we are going to be using a lot of electrical appliances or equipment. So that will help you if you do get, God forbid, you don't have any persons being electrocuted, sorry, that will be an insulator for that. Also, everyone must wear every single day a steel tip boots, so it prevents if anything falls, everything, it prevents you from being injured. Additionally, you must always be respectful all times. Teamwork makes the dream work. So communication definitely goes a long way. Always speak professional. Integrity, please do not be dishonest. You don't want any stealing here as well. And also, you must have a proper attitude when working on the construction site. This is basically on or off. Integrity definitely goes a long way. So I'm going to be moving forward. You have a brochure on your desk that you can follow for persons. Yes, you have a brochure on your desk. This is basically what to do in a case of a fire and if persons are trapped. So I'm also going to be showing you like a little model of what we can do in cases of a fire to happen. Number one, you must ensure that we activate the fire alarm, or we must raise the alarm. As soon as we know that, hey, there is a fire around, there are alarms, fire alarms around the building, it is in red, we must ensure that it is alarmed. As you can see here, the fire is starting in the back room of this building. So, ensure that if there is any exit nearby, be sure to use that one. Don't leave where you are to go right away around the building. The closest exit is what? Anything, just don't put anything there. Let someone know, let someone advise you, inform them of what's going on, and they will properly advise you of what to do. If it's just to clean the room or just wrap it, and if it gets better, that's totally fine. Let someone advise. Do not, and this is very important, do not allow the person to continue working without proper treatment. So if that person, encounters a laceration or what, snap, any injury, without them being properly assessed by a medical professional, I won't advise you, or basically report it to your supervisor, inform them that, hey, this is the case, and they will make a decision whether or not if the person should continue to work. but the person must be assessed by a medical professional. Alright, so do we have any questions or anything that we need to go over before I continue? No questions. So I have a few questions, if you don't mind me asking. What is one of the first things you do when someone encounters a laceration?
Stay calm.
Stay calm, do not panic. Yes, you must ensure that you stay calm. You can give, do not panic. Anything else? Any other pointers? Okay, what are some of the things that we don't do when someone encounters a laceration?
Applying anti-inflammatory.
Do not apply any chemical or ointment without being informed or, by a medical professional. So, I'm gonna be basically, since we would have already discussed, the just a view of the first aid, I'm gonna definitely go into how basically you handle or basically discovering a suspicious item within the workplace. So before we begin, just a scenario. If you come into the office and there is like a bag or a box that you never seen before or the day before, what are some of the things that you think that you should do?
Leave it alone.
Inform security.
Inform the supervisor.
Inform the security, inform the supervisor.
Probably close the door wherever they see something.
Exactly. Correct. So I'm going to go a bit more in depth in what to do if you discover a suspicious item here. So, what to do if you do discover this suspicious item? You must basically, as someone said, shut the door. Yes, but move away, evacuate that area, because we don't know if it's a bomb or anything chemically. You don't want everyone to be affected. So calmly move everyone away from the area. Secure that area, whether if it's closing the door, as Ms. Margaret would have mentioned, or putting a chair or something there to block persons from moving to that room. Again, stay calm, do not panic. Think before acting. And also, you must ensure that everyone else that is in that room or location is also calm. As someone said, alert your supervisor immediately. Call the security or emergency service that deals with it. If you're a supervisor or the security firm doesn't want to touch or whatever, touch the bag or the item that is suspicious, ensure that you alert the appropriate emergency services right away so that they can have that checked and the business can go back as normal. Do not touch the item. Do not open the item. Do not even shake it. We must ensure we leave the item as is until the necessary is done. Then we can go back to business. So remember, do not touch the item. Do not open or shake. Keep others away. Basically, warn others about, or basically not to approach, and maintain a safe distance from the area. We must ensure that we do that. And also, we must also await instructions. Wait until your supervisor says, hey guys, we want to, ensure that the area is clear. This is what happened. and you can go back to your job. Follow the guidelines that the emergency responders would have given, and do not return until told that it's basically safe for us to do so. Right? So, I would have went through a lot in regards of there is a fire, dealing with a laceration or a snap, or, in the discovery of a suspicious item. Does anyone have any questions, anything that I need to go over? Because my colleagues are going to go into it a bit more in depth, but this is basically just an overview of what is the training or the orientation is about. Any questions or anything? Alright, so I'm going to hand you over to my next colleague. Daphne is going to go into the first aid a bit more. So, guys, please go. So, apply gentle pressure with a clean cloth or bandage to stop the bleeding. Clean the wound with clean water if possible, and cover with a sterile dressing or a bandage. So, we understand, yes, we're on a construction site, we have dust, we have wood shavings. We must ensure that the wound that we have or that person has, it must be clean before applying any bandages or any pressure. It must be clean at all times. Also, when doing so after that, we must ensure that the wound is clean so that it prevents infection and from that person, being, from the wound being more life-threatening, I would say. So let us ensure that the wound is clean and you apply pressure so that the person doesn't bleed out and can go, further. Seek medical attention if the cut is deep, bleeding heavily, or caused by a dirty object. So we must ensure if it's basically just like a cut in the skin, you can deal with that. We have a first aider on site. You can go, you can inform him, hey, this is the case. We need to ensure that this person is treated properly. But if it's a very, very deep, and if the person is bleeding and you're trying and the bleeding is not stopping, please reach out, raise an alarm, so that the necessary can be done. Report the incident according to workplace procedures. Please report it to your manager if you have to. Write an accident report. Please ensure that you do so. Everything that happened on the day. Please ensure every incident, I would say. Anything that happens and anyone is injured, not only lacerations, we must ensure that we can account. So please ensure that we report these things as soon as it happens. Alright? So we're going to move on to the doors. And before we do, is there any questions or anything that we might have in regards of the do's when dealing with the laceration? Alright, so we're going to move on to the doors. Again, as I mentioned prior, do not panic or leave the injured person alone. Because the person is already injured, there's a lot of things going through their mind. And with you panicking, that person can panic and they can go into shock, they can have, go unconscious. So please ensure that you do not panic. Stay with them, encourage them, let them know that everything is going to be okay and they're going to, be up and about in time to come. Do not panic. Do not touch the wound again with dirty hands. Do not remove the object, strap or stuck in the wound. If anything is in there, please do not pull it out. A trained professional will do that, or at least try to. You do not go and pull out anything from the wound if it's protruding to the person's skin, anywhere about the body. Please do not do that. Do not apply ointments or chemical unless advised by medical personnel. So, if the person has like a small cut, just don't throw peroxide. As you know, peroxide would, what people would say, peroxide cures everything. It doesn't. Actually, it doesn't. So, just don't throw in anything. Just don't put anything there. Let someone know. Let someone advise.
I will be explaining about the laceration and how to treat it, how to prevent it, and some demonstration about laceration. So a laceration is a torn or rugged wound in the skin, often caused by sharp objects or falls. These injuries, which can range from shallow surface cuts to deep tears requiring stitches, staples, or surgical repair. Now, in front of you, there's some brochure telling you what is a minor cut or a scrape, and the immediate steps to treat a cut or a scrape, and also when to seek medical attention. So a minor cut, laceration or scrape, abrasion is a break in the skin that may cause bleeding, but doesn't usually require stitches. This can be caused when handling sharp objects, tools, or machinery. Paper cuts, slips, or falls. The immediate steps to treat a cut or a scrape. Number 1, stay safe. Put on a disposable gloves. Number 2, stop the bleeding. Apply gentle pressure with a clean cloth or gauze. Evaluate the area if possible. Number 3, clean with sterilized wipe. Use a sterilized wipe to clean around the wound. Number 4, cover the wound. Use a sterilized bandage or adhesive strip. Number 5, watch for signs of infections. When you can seek a medical attention, when bleeding doesn't stop after 10 minutes. Number 2, when deep cuts or punctured wounds. Number 5, when signs of infection, for example, redness, swelling, pus, and fever. And also cuts from rusty or dirty objects. And I'm going to show you a video, very short video of how to treat a laceration. I'm going to show you a video, very short video of how to treat a laceration.
Cuts and grazes are common injuries that can usually be treated at home. A cut is a full break to the skin, whereas a graze is just the top layers of the skin being scraped off. Normally,
So here is my gloves, my protective gloves. Before you go to treat the wounds, you have to put on a gloves or make sure you wear gloves. Before and after, you must always wash your hands before putting on your gloves. So I will just wash my hands here. After you wash your hands, you go to put on your gloves. So when you're putting on your gloves, you do not touch the surface of this gloves in front. You must touch inside here, but not outside surface. So you put on your gloves very carefully. Do not touch any of this with your hands. Once you have the gloves, you can touch anywhere you can on this other side. So if here is a cut here, you will place a gauze to stop the bleeding on top. And after you place the gauze, you use this saline. This is a general cleaner to clean any wound. So you open this, go to put on your gloves. So when you're putting on your gloves, you do not touch the surface of this gloves in front. You must touch inside here, but not outside surface. So you put on your gloves very carefully. Do not touch any of this with your hands. once you have the gloves, you can touch anywhere you can on this other side. So if here is a cut here, you will place a gauze to stop the bleeding on top. And after you place the gauze, you use this saline. This is a general cleaner to clean any wounds. So you open this. You cut the top. You clean the surface around the wound. And when it's clean, you remove the gauze and you clean the inside of the wound. After you've done that, this is like a fin. You use this. You use this to clean and prevent the bacteria. You spray it inside of the wound. And then you clean again. After then, this is an iodine. So after you've done all your cleaning, you rub the wound. This is the iodine conjugal. So you clean the wound with the iodine. After you've done that, you're gonna get a gauze and place the gauze. You place the gauze on the wound and then you bandage. You put a bandage. you can use this Hypofix with the Hypofix paper. If you don't have a bandage, you can peel this off, cut it. So you cut it, you peel it off. And you can place it on the gauze that is on the wall underneath.
Okay, so I never mind about the shoe.
And after you finish doing that, you pick up your gloves very carefully. You put your hand here. And then you take it off. In the bin. That is fancy. My name is Ms. Taylor. And I'm just giving you guys a guideline on how to maintain a safe and secure work environment. So here are 10 essential tips you guys should be able to follow in order to promote a safe and secure work environment. So one, you guys should be able to comply with regulations. Two, we as the leaders in Sylvie Construction Enterprise should be able to promote a safe work environment. We as a team should be able to communicate clearly with each other. We should have safe access for our customers, and we should also have a clean, organized environment. You guys should be able to be quick responses when it comes to emergencies. 6, you guys should always be prepared for an emergency. You guys should know how to monitor and identify risk in the work environment. And we all should be responsible workmates. Number 1, comply with work regulations. So here, basically you guys must know to follow or adhere to the work regulations when it comes to our safety, when it comes to our when it comes to being punctual. Right? You guys must be able to follow all of these regulations. You guys should be well dressed, as demonstrated earlier. You guys should be dressed in your PPE gear. So, we as leaders in the construction enterprise must prioritize your health. Because if you guys can't be able to work, then no work will be done. So we as leaders must be able to prioritize your health. So we must ensure that you guys are dressed in your proper PPE safety gear. You guys should be trained when it comes to knowing hazard signs or emergency signs. You guys should be, you guys will be having fire drill exercise so that you can know how to act when in the emergency of a fire. Alright? You guys should have your emergency backup. In case of an emergency, the first person you should be able to contact is the leader of the construction company, so you can know what step to take. You
you guys must know where your first aid station is. You guys should be able to know where your first aid station is. Ensure clear communication. So clear instruction must be given from your head or your supervisor in your team that you're working under. You should always follow instruction, especially during high-risk work areas. So we must ensure that our work areas is labeled with warning signs, right? When it comes to the safety of our customers, we ensure that we have clear passageways so that they could walk. Again, we must ensure that there are hazard signs to guide our customers so that they can know that there's danger or here is an unsafe area that they're entering. Alright, you guys think you following?
Yes, ma'am.
Look, this is to guide our customers so that they can know that there's danger or here is an unsafe area that they're entering. Alright, you guys think you following?
Yes, ma'am.
Look, this is just a demonstration showing how your area must be labeled so that customers can know where to walk. So, customer safety protocols, you must have a designated safe path, use barriers and warning signs, and just in case a customer is entering high-risk environment, if necessary, we can escort them just to keep them safe. Maintain clean and organized. Maintain a clean and organized work environment. So, as I said earlier, your workspace must be neatly packed. You mustn't leave raw materials on the ground like metals in the walkway. It must be packed. If it's not using, you dispose of it properly. Don't leave it in the walk area. How to maintain a secure environment for staff and customers. So we're looking at how to maintain a secure environment for both customers and staff. So we as leaders, we must ensure that you guys can use the fire extinguishers and use it correctly. If you guys cannot use the fire extinguisher, it's not advisable that you even attempt to use it, right? Because you can make things worse, right? So, emergency exit protocols. As I said before, ensure that your areas is clearly marked and is unobstructed. Emergency equipment access. So, your fire extinguisher, it must be accessible, and we as a team must inspect our fire equipment to ensure that everything is working in the case of an emergency. First aid. Make sure your first aid is stocked and it's available when needed. You put it somewhere where you can have access to it. Control access to workplace. Good. So, in our construction company, access must not be given to anyone. There's limited authorized individuals. So only employees, approved contractors, and registered visitors should have access to the workplace. So you will be given a badge to verify that you is the person entering this area, right? So there's no exception. So the next thing, you guys must be respectable to your team members and to your leaders. We all must take accountability for our actions. You guys must not be afraid to come and communicate to your leaders of an event that take place. Alright? So in case an emergency event take place, don't hide it or keep it to yourself. Complain so that action can be taken. Security is everyone's responsibility. We're all responsible for our work environment security. Just a breakdown on our points. So the first step, this is a key summary. The first point, you should be able to comply. And as I said earlier, comply to your rules. We as leaders must be able to ensure that our workers are safe. We as a team, we should be able to communicate clearly to each other. We must also ensure that customer access is safe. We ensure we have a clean workstation. Staff must be on high alert in case of emergency. You must always be prepared for emergency and ensure that you have easy access to your emergency gears. We must be able to monitor risk. And finally, we all must be responsible. And our theme for our business is safety starts with you. Together, we create a workplace where everyone feels protected, respected, and empowered to maintain the highest safety standards. So, protect everyone on site, respect, and empower to act with confidence. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for coming. So you guys can have a drink if you're thirsty. No, maybe you're not. This is for my recruits.